All right, Algebra 1. This is day 12 of your AMI, and you're doing double distributing. Yay! Cheers! Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do some double distributing. You're going to start off with an expression that looks like this, and we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to start with this 3x. This is the first part of my first set of parentheses, and I'm going to take it and distribute just that 3x to the other set of parentheses. So 3x times 2x gives me a 6x squared. 3x times 3, now I'm multiplying 3 times 3 to get that 9, and x. Okay, so we've got the first part of this parentheses done. Then we're going to take and do the same thing with that -1. Okay, so I'm going to do -1 times 2x. So -1 times 2x is a minus 2x, and a -1 times 3 is minus 3. Okay, so once you've distributed both of these numbers, hence the double, I'm going to combine some like terms. So in this new expression, I have 9x and a -2x, and those are the things that I can combine. So 6x squared and 9x minus 2x gives me a 7x minus 3. And that right there is your answer. Okay, and here's the second expression. We're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're still double distributing. We're going to start off with this x, and I'm going to distribute it to my second set of parentheses. So I'm going to do x times 5x. And we're going to do that. I get 5x squared. X times a -2 is a minus 2x. So that takes care of my first part. And then I'm going to take this 7 and do the same thing. -7 times 5x is a minus 35x. And a -7 times a -2. Make sure you're paying attention to those signs. Negative times a positive gives you a negative answer. Negative times a negative gives you a positive answer. So -7 times -2 is plus 14. And then I'm going to combine my x's here in the middle to get 5x squared. -2x minus 35x is a -37x plus 14. Okay, and then also with double distributing, we also have this thing called FOIL. And you may remember this, you may have touched on it a little bit last year. If you didn't, and if double distributing makes perfect sense to you, use it. Okay, this is kind of just a different way to do it. If this makes sense to you, you can use it this way. Both ways are correct. It's just different ways of doing it. FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. Okay, FOIL. And the way you use FOIL is that whenever you have your two sets of parentheses, you're going to start by multiplying the first terms in each set of parentheses. So if I'm looking at just the first terms, 4x times x. That's the first terms of both sets of parentheses. Whenever I multiply 4x times x, I get 4x squared. Okay? Then the outside. O is the outside. You're doing the outside terms in both sets of parentheses. So my outside terms are the first and the last. So 4x and that -3. Those are my outside terms. 4x times a -3 is minus 12x. Okay? Then I is inside. My inside terms. What are my two inside terms? So 2 and x are my inside terms. If I multiply those together, I get plus 2x. And then we have our last terms. Our last terms are exactly what it sounds like. It's the very last terms in both sets of parentheses, and that's my 2 and my -3. So 2 times -3 is -6. Okay? And then we're going to combine our like terms right here in the middle to get 4x squared minus 10x minus 6. And just so I can show you that this actually works, I'm going to do the double distributing on this. Just to show you we get the same answer. I'm going to first do 4x times x and 4x times a -3. So 4x times x gives me 4x squared. 4x times a -3 is minus 12x. Looking awfully familiar. Do my 2. 2 times x is plus 2x. 2 times a -3 is minus 6. Looks the same as that. 4x squared minus 10x minus 6. So it works both ways. Whichever one makes sense to you, use it.